Okay,
Thank
good
you.
afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works. Just for the record, we have a new member on our board, Mr. Frank Rivera. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call. Since our secretary is off today, I'll be doing the roll call, and if I mess up, somebody let me know, because usually Olga keeps me in check. Okay, so roll call. Val Gomez, present. Weena Guzman.
Present.
Frank Rivera.
Present.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have the minutes of the regular meeting of February 27, 2025. I'd like to make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Abstain.
Oh, that's right, that's the. We have no correspondence, so we're going to move on to new business. On our agenda for tonight, we had opening bids for fire station number 4. I believe the closing time for bids were 4 o'clock, but at the moment, we have nobody here, so we'll continue with the rest of the meeting till see if they appear. First item on our agenda is from Public Works. They have the rate schedule for Schindler Elevator as a not to exceed. Basically, they have the rates for mechanic, helper, and adjuster, and straight time and overtime. Are there any questions or comments on this proposal? No?
Just not to exceed 25,000.
Okay. Did I miss that one?
I
thank
think
you.
you said not to exceed, but didn't say the amount.
Yeah,
Val.
that's where Olga would have hit me by now. Okay, 25,000.
I need to sit over there else.
Right. Okay, next we have surplus items from the fire department. We do have a letter from the chief. Dear board members, I'd like to declare the following items surplus. These items are non-repairable or expired. Respectfully submitted, Damon Carpenter, Chief. He did include a list, and it's basic items: old fire helmets, rubber boots, drinking water cooler, fan, chairs, different size hoses from 5-inch all the way to 1.5 inches. There is an HP LaserJet 4100, and they all are listed expired or broken or non-repairable. Are there any questions or comments on this request?
None.
Okay. Keep this in order for Olga. She'll kill me. Okay, next on our agenda, we have from McQueen Equipment. This is face masks for the fire department. We do have a letter from the chief again. Dear board members, please consider my request to approve of new thermal imaging cameras since the current ones we have are out of service. Please also consider my request to approve of combustible gas indicators and face masks for the same reason as our current equipment has been out of service. Attached, you'll find the quotes for all 3 of these projects. We have located available funds in account 321001-444050, other machinery and equipment, after it was approved by the Common Council on February 12, 2025. So on agenda, he lists for 3 items. On our agenda, we have the mask first. For the mask, they do have a sole proprietary sheet. The fire department's been getting their mask and their packs from MSA for years and years, so they're familiar with that equipment. So for the mask, they're getting 60 at $800 each. That'll be $48,000. For the thermal imaging cameras, along with their accessories, there's 3 thermal imaging cameras. They're $14,985 each, and then with the accessories for 3, additional $1,650. So total for these thermal imaging cameras are $16,680. And these are the units they actually take into a fire. If you go into a fire, you can't see anything. It's cloudy. There's smoke. But you could see
Yeah.
the thermal imaging camera will show you where the fire is at. So that's
Oh,
fine.
that's cool.
Okay, and the other item he had was the 3 gas combustible indicators. This is for testing the safety in a building the levels of gas. They're usually 4 to 5 gas. These are 4 gas, different gas that they can measure. And the amount for these, they're asking for 2 and a calibration kit for a total of $4,550. Are there any questions or comments on these 3 proposals for the fire department?
None.
There being no further question or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving the 3 proposals from the fire department.
I second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Val,
Yep,
can we go back to Schindler's Elevator? We didn't motion on that one. Am I correct?
we did.
No.
And also the surplus.
You motioned on Schindler, you did not motion on the surplus.
Oh, and the surplus items. Okay,
Did we?
we missed the surplus.
Okay.
Either way, I messed up. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the fire department's request to declare items surplus items.
I second it.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, let's see, now we're at federal protection, 2025 rates with a not to exceed for 15,000. This request is from the special events, and this would be for all security guards for all the events in 2025. And as I mentioned, a not to exceed is 15,000. They do have a balance of 374,000 in the special events account. Are there any questions or comments on federal protection's proposal for security at all these special events?
None.
There being no further question or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving special events requests for the 2025 federal protection rates.
I second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we come to Vela LLC. And just for the record, we've been using Vela LLC for, I think, the past 5 years almost.
Yes, probably maybe longer than that.
And just so the public understands, municipalities in the state of Indiana cannot pay in advance for services. So one way in a lot of these acts from special events for our different concerts, they require a prepayment of a percentage. And the only way we can get around it is to hire Mr. Vela, who acts as an agent for us, and he actually puts up the money, and then we pay him a percentage. And I think we began at the beginning at 6, then it went to 8, and now we're 10. Inflation, so it's gone up. So what I'll do, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 contracts.
Yes.
I'll go in detail on the first one, and they're all identical, and for the following ones, I'll give the name of the company and the performers and their rates, and what Mr. Vela is charging us. Okay?
Yes.
If you have any questions at any time I'm speaking, jump in. Okay, so the first one is for Salsa Fest, which is July 19th, 2025. It is the Cabri, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Cabri Project, CARIBE Project, Frankie Ruiz, Brenda Starr. We are paying Mr. Salerno we're paying him $46,500. He receives 10%. The 10% fee is $4,650 for a total of $51,150. And this comes out of the gaming account. All 4 are gonna come out of our gaming account, special events gaming account, which is 114010 contractual. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, and as I mentioned before, these are all with Mr. Luis Sereno Vela, Vela. Okay, second one is for Fusic Fest, August 2nd, 2025. It is with Mr. Vela has contracted Cameo by Troutman Music Group. Troutman Music Group is the agent for these performers. We are paying Mr. Vela And for this event, 55,000. His portion is 50,000, the 10% 5,000 for a total, grand total of 55,000. Any questions or comments on this one?
None.
Okay, the third one is also for Music Fest, August 2nd, 2025. This is for the Ohio Players by Troutman Music Group again. Paid to Mr. Vela is 55,000. The amount he receives 50,000, his 10% is 5,000 for a grand total of 55,000. And once again, it's the same account, Special Events Gaming, 11410. That'll be the account for all these special events. Any questions or comments on this one?
No.
Questions?
None.
Okay. Okay, next one is for the R&S Fest opening acts. I believe that's Rhythm and
So,
Soul? Okay.
yes,
I keep thinking of R&B, Rhythm and Blues.
RNS.
Okay, this one, it's June 21st, 2025. Mr. Salerno for this one, the amount is 9, and the agent is actually, for this one, is not Troutman, it's Touch Tone Entertainment. And the band is Delivery Point and Total Package Band. The amount, as I mentioned, is 9,000, 10% 900, for a grand total of 9,900. Any questions or comments on this one?
Mhm.
Okay, next one is also for the R&S Festival, June 21st, 2025. The band is SOS Band by Troutman Music Group. And this one, Mr. Vela, the amount is 35,000 for the music groups and 3,500 for his 10%. For total, grand total of 38,500. Any questions or comments on this one? Okay, so that concludes the 5 musical projects. There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving Mr. Vela's participation in acquiring these groups for us with his fee for the 5 aforementioned groups.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have also from special events, we have the Mad Bomber fireworks production. We have a blanket, no, this is basically for July 3rd Independence fireworks. And it is 100, not to exceed 100,000. This is the event where we have 5 locations throughout the city, where the Mad Bomber does a fireworks display from each one. That way, everybody in the city can see him without having to go to one location. And he does have his insurance listed. It's $10 million liability insurance. So. Are there any questions or comments on the Mad Bombers?
No.
I did check that Natalie's office manager, Nick, and he says he will include a sole proprietary because we've been using Mad Bomber for, I think,
Oh, yeah.
more years than I can remember. And he's usually done a pretty good job. Any questions or comments on the Mad Bomber proposal?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I have to make a motion approving Mad Bomber's by-location event on July 3rd.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We come to outstanding invoices. We have 3 tonight. I'll read each one, and then at the end, we'll make a motion. First one is from the Marina. It's for Tonkovich. They have 2 late invoices. One dated 11/25/24 in the amount of $4,758.95. Second one is dated same date, 11/25/24, in the amount of $7,249.05 for a total of $12,008.00. Explanation for late invoice from the department is there were misplaced invoices from the department. Any questions or comments on this one?
None.
Okay, we'll move on to the second one. Second one is from Midwestern Electric Engineering Department. We have a late invoice dated 12/26/2024. $98 is the total. Explanation: Engineering Department received the invoice on time, but we were waiting for them to provide their 2025 rates prior to opening appeal. Services have been rendered and invoice should be processed. Okay, any questions or comments on this one?
None.
No.
Okay. Next is from the Police Department for Northwestern University. They have two late invoices dated 4/1/2024. Both of them are 4/1/2024, and both of them are for $4,600, total of $9,200. Explanation is: please excuse these late invoices. They were emailed to the wrong person and were not forwarded to the service division in a timely manner. Purchase order 241229 was on hand to pay for this invoice. Any questions on this late invoice?
None.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments on the aforementioned three invoices, I'd like to make a motion to approve payment of these late invoices.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay. Next we have from the Police Department, Star Uniform, not to exceed the 25,000. We do have a memorandum from the Police Chief. The Chicago Police Department is requesting approval of Star Uniform rate schedule. Their uniforms have proven to be the best value quality, and for this reason have been selected to be sole proprietor of the ECPD. They do have the sole proprietary form. On this one, I did call the police department because they, on the memorandum from the police department has that they're requesting us to approve a rate schedule. But this isn't a rate schedule. What it is 8 pages of a purchase they made. And each page has one item, and on the bottom the total is always the same, $2,138.25. All these items add up to that figure. So I think somewhere along the line they thought they're requesting the rate schedule, but they're really asking to approve a purchase from Star, the Star Uniform.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm going to present it when I spoke to them. So I'd like to make any questions or comments on these?
So this is not an invoice, it's a,
It's actually a proposal to pay for these
Okay.
items on the 8 pages.
Okay.
So when I talked to Sienna, I told her she didn't know how the wording got mixed up, and it was supposed to be just a proposal.
Okay.
So no, any questions or comments on this?
No, no further questions.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion approving the police department's proposal to purchase uniform items from Star Uniform
Second.
in the,
All
okay,
five.
it's okay, in the amount of $2,138.25, and they do have a not to exceed of 25,000.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from the Controller's Office, we have the 2025A membership dues. That's the Organization for Indiana Cities and Towns. It's an annual membership of $16,415. Like I said, it's an annual fee. They present a lot of information. They do also do lobbying services for all the cities and towns. And here included is basically a letter from them, kind of telling what they do. Are there any questions or comments on this proposal?
No.
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving From the Controller's Office, the request to pay the A membership dues for 2025, the amount of $16,415.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. Next, we have a proposal from the Controller's Office. This is, even though it's from the Controller's Office, it's actually for the blinds on the first floor from our office, including our office, Law Department, and IT office. Here you can see the blinds here kind of block out the sun, but we have no blinds in all these offices. And last few years we have taken a beating. They did put tint on the windows, but that didn't really suffice. It's almost like a blinding flashlight when that sun hits there. So we feel this would permanently solve that situation. So we have Martinez Construction is the contractor. He actually put some in at the park department. That's when we first noticed what they did. So the amount is $4,918.73. That's for purchasing the blinds and for installation. And as I said, it's for the 3 offices on the first floor facing the west side of the building. Any questions or comments?
None.
Okay, there be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving the proposal for the sunscreen blinds on the west side of the building, City Hall first floor.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have Resolution, City of Chicago Board of Public Works, Resolution 2025-10, a resolution in Chicago Board of Public Works authorizing payment for services rendered for legal services with Don Dawkins. Whereas Attorney Dawkins previously served under contract to represent the city for the city ordinance violations, the contract for 2025 will not be renewed. Whereas Attorney Dawkins served as attorney for the month of January 2025 through February 14, 2025, whereas the city through its Board of Public Works agrees to pay Anthony Dawkins for services rendered. Now therefore be resolved by the Chicago Board of Public Works that Attorney Don Dawkins' contract was not renewed for 2025, however did continue to serve as an attorney until a substitution was made, that this resolution be approved for those services rendered from January 2025 through February 14, 2025, in the amount of $5,095.80. The invoices are attached, subject to approval of the City Controller and the Common Council, certified and adopted by the Board of Public Works, City of Chicago, Lake County, Indiana, on this 13th day of March 2025. And she did include invoices for the time. Any questions or comments on Resolution 2025-10?
No.
No.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving Resolution 2025-10.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, next we have 2 proposals from Permaseal from Engineering. We have one for line striping from West 145th to Indianapolis Boulevard. Let's see, West 145th Street and Indianapolis Boulevard to Chicago Avenue and Indianapolis Boulevard. This is from Permaseal, submitted by the Engineering Department. Cost is $990. I did have a question. I thought we would have the city engineer today. On the second page, they have they would charge an interest rate of 1.5 per month until the job is paid in full. I would like to suggest we black that out. So I will have our secretary black it out, because the state does not allow us to pay interest. Is that an agreement? Everybody's agreeing on that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any further questions or comments? Nope.
No.
Okay, so the motion is that we will approve the proposal with the one modification that we cross out that 1.5 interest. And so that's my motion for the amount of $990 for the striping.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, the second one for Permaseal was the Marktown Trail. Is the change order. Change order is for $16,375. That's within the 20%. If it had been over 20%, it would have been a separate proposal. We wouldn't be able to approve it. The only question I have on this one, I'm familiar with this project, and this project was funded by money from NIPSCO. NIPSCO was working in the area. They agreed to repair all the disruption they created in the area, and they also gave the park department additional money for this park trip. And I believe it was more than 134, but I'm not sure. So before we approve this, I'd like to make a motion with conditions that we are approving it with the condition that they have the money from NIPSCO to complete this project. If not, they're going to have to get money from a different source.
Agreed.
Agree.
Okay. I think there is, but when I checked with Olga, she wasn't sure. I think Park Department overseeing this project. Even though it comes from engineering, there was some dispute with the engineer and the Park Department director on who would oversee this. And I think in the end, it turned out to be the Park Department. But anyway, are there any other questions on this? No. Then I'd like to make a motion approving it, subject to checking on the funding, if it is from the original NIPSCO fund. If not, they're going to have to get this $16,000 from a different fund. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
May I have a second on this?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Do you ever understand that, Peggy? Okay, sometimes I confuse myself.
If I may, there were the equivalent of 2 blocks that NIPSCO took over
Right.
that had been possibly for future building in Bartown, but it never was done.
Okay.
So that's, NIPSCO was kind of trading for access of these 2 blocks.
Right. You don't have to remember what the amount was, what?
I don't, Deborah spent a lot of time working on that.
Right. So I know Olga's out today. She was trying to find out, but I think it might be easier just to call, and if Julio was here, she even told me, speak to Julio, he would probably know the exact amount. So, but we have nobody from engineering tonight. So, okay, we passed that one. Okay, next one, we have the proposal for the bug guy. This is for 4718 Indianapolis Boulevard. What happened was engineering department used to be in this building. Since they've been moved over on the boulevard at 4718, they found some bugs there last week, and so we did an emergency request for them, the bug guy to come out and spray. And now they have their separate contract, because they used to be contracted in here with everybody in this building, but now they're by the south, and they had to get a contract with theirs. The amount is, the annual charge is $1,190. Initial service charge was $380, and then their monthly quarterly payments from now on will be $90 per month. And another reason Public Works did have appeal, and at first they were going to do, but then we found out the building is owned by redevelopment, so that's why they had to get a separate one. Okay, any questions or comments?
No.
Oh, okay, then I'd like to make a motion approving Bug Guy's proposal for 4718 Indianapolis Boulevard Engineering Department.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we come to our right-of-way Board of Public Works permit applications. We have Board of Public Works permit applications number 25-04953 through 25-04-980. Were there any questions or comments on these permit applications?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving the aforementioned Board of Works permit applications.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, that concludes our new business. Our other business, the only thing we're missing from tonight's agenda, just for informational, is the opening bids for Fire Station Number 4. I received no word on that there was going to be a cancellation, or did any other commissioner receive any word?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think the last time I checked my email was about 3:30. I think, Frank, when you called me, we were discussing something on the agenda.
Right.
I didn't check it afterwards. Did anybody have to notice if there was an email explaining why nobody's here?
No, I didn't get one.
No?
No. No.
Okay, we'll have to find out from the engineer what happened with the bid openings. Okay, so,
Unless it was postponed, maybe.
yeah, usually it gives the notice, but they had 4 o'clock for the closing of bids, so that's what Olga told me. She said they would, and she said the company doing the work, their engineer would be here with Julian, so.
Okay.
Okay, so that concludes all our business agenda for tonight. Our next regular meeting will be Thursday, March 27 at 4:30 PM. That concludes all our items. I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.